What's up, y'all? It's Mace Blanco. Welcome back to another episode of I Don't Need Clout, the podcast. For y'all watching on video, you can see I got another equipment change. I got the mic set up here. I got the soundboard just off the screen. Like I said, I had all of this equipment before, had to dust it off. You know, every week I'm trying to advance the show. Every episode I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to bring a better product to you guys. So here we go. And I appreciate everybody that tapped right back in with me. Like I said on the previous episode from last week, I took off a whole year, a little bit more than a year when my son passed away. So, I wasn't doing anything media. I wasn't recording podcasts. I wasn't doing any songs. So I'm real happy to be back, and I'm real grateful that everybody tapped right back in with me when I started dropping episodes again. Today's episode number 26, and we're talking about, do I really need clout? And today's episode is going to be a breakdown about the podcast, why it's called I Don't Need Clout, the podcast, why we do what we do, kind of like the reasoning behind everything. It's going to be a little bit more in depth than our mission statement. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, we got to start with, what is clout? So by definition, clout is influence or power, especially in politics or business. That actually sounds kind of lit. And that's something most people would want, right? And a lot of people were thinking like, Mace, don't you need clout to have a successful podcast? Isn't that what all of this is about? To get your podcast out to the masses? Like, what's wrong with having clout? I'm going to answer that like this. Look, I'm not anti-clout, but I am against clout chasing. And what I mean by that is when you go out of your way to make clout chasing, you make popularity your main objective. Like when people say no publicity is bad publicity, that's cap. There's definitely bad publicity. Look at Kanye West. Terrible publicity. And people would make that argument, yeah, but he's being talked about. I don't want to be talked about in that kind of way. I don't want to be doing shit just to be talked about. When you're putting your morals and your integrity to the side to chase some kind of short-term popularity conversation, when you're seeking attention just for the sake of seeking attention, that's what I'm completely against. That's when I say I don't need the clout. See, clout by itself isn't the problem. It's nice to have influence in business, in politics, if that's your thing. But the problem is the greed. And I would make the comparison, it's the same way that people misinterpret the Bible verse, money is the root of all evil. And that's not actually how the verse even goes. The verse actually stems from the Bible, 1 Timothy 6:10. And to stop for just a second, it's actually crazy. I'm almost mind blown right now because this podcast is on 610. It's Mace Blanco on 610. I Don't Need Clout, the podcast on 610. And it's comparable to the reference from 1 Timothy 6:10. And the verse goes, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So it's warning you against the love of money, not money itself. So when you hear money is the root of all evil, it's really missing the whole concept. It's not the green piece of paper that is the root of all evil. It's not clout that is what I'm against. It's the greed. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And it's the love of clout that I have a problem with. Not clout itself. Obviously, you want to be successful. I want my podcast to be successful. I want it to help people. I want it to reach the masses. So yeah, clout is cool. I'm cool with clout. It's when you chase clout and you put that as your primary objective, and that takes priority over all your morals and integrity and the boundaries that you have for yourself. Or people just don't have boundaries at all. They don't have a line in the sand where they say, yo, I'm not doing that for clout. I'm not doing this. Like, I can't be bought. A lot of people can be bought, truth be told. And when I say they can be bought, I'm talking about they have a price to where they would compromise their own integrity. And I would use an example like a OnlyFans girl. And that's a lot of controversy because people were like, yo, you have the freedom to go out and do whatever you want. Blah, 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 blah. Even drug dealers, to poison your community for a value, a dollar amount, that's just fucked up to me. To sell your body online, even if it's pictures of it, even if it's just videos, even if it's just you by yourself, to do those type of things for the love of money, it's hard to respect it. And listen, I know that's a long ass intro. I try to make the podcast in digestible pieces. If I can get 10 to 15 minutes of your day, I'm grateful. I don't need a whole hour of your time, but let's get into it. And this episode, beyond just talking about why I don't clout chase, it's also a warning to not be too emotionally invested about what you see on the internet. Again, aging myself with this one, go ahead with the pops and the comments. I'm from the 1990s, but when I was a kid, they had this saying that was, don't believe everything that you see on TV. But now it's the internet. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, if you haven't heard this before, don't believe everything you see on the internet, because just like TV, there's a lot of fake shit on the internet. But But the internet is like mixed with fake shit and real shit, and you have to have a higher level of discernment to know what's really going on out there. And I'm not just talking about the news. I know the news always has some kind of agenda, some narrative that they want to spin to get you to think a certain type of way or direct you a certain type of way. But honestly, a lot of shit on the internet is fake most of the time with a little bit of truth sprinkled in. On the internet, everybody is a guru. Everybody's an expert at what they do. Every day is fucking sunshine and rainbows. Everyone's trying to sell a life coaching course online that costs $2,000, but today it just so happens to be $49.99 if you buy it within the next hour. Like, bro, y'all better not fall for that shit. I'm be the one to advise you not to fall for that shit. And listen, I'm just gonna tell you it's all a scam. And I'm just giving my opinion from my perspective of American culture, from a capitalist culture. I know I've said this before, but if it's too good to be true, it is. And my opinion usually goes against the grain. But I'm gonna give y'all my opinion about all the shit that's been going on in the past week. Yeah, I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna explain it from a little bit different perspective for you. Listen, bro, I touched on this on the last podcast, but rap is in bad shape right now. Last week I talked about the stereotypes and just the idea of your regular rapper. And then right after I put out that video, everything just unfolded exactly how I said it was. You got Yella Beezy facing capital murder charges for killing MO3 or paying for the hit on MO3. The same thing Lil Durk is locked up for, type shit. You got Sauce Walker getting shot. During that shooting in Memphis, Say So P was killed. You got Lil Ronnie and his daughter that was gunned down in Fort Worth, Texas. And listen, I could have ran to the internet to discuss any of these stories for views. Like I said, I'm gonna mention it just to give my take on it, but from a different perspective. Because I waited for the smoke to clear. And I saw all of this shit unfolding in real time. I saw YouTubers and bloggers on live when this shit just happened 30 minutes before, especially on the Yella Beezy case. They're getting 50,000 views on live in the first hour. Because if you're the first one live with that type of headline, soon as somebody types it in to click, see what's going on, you're gonna be popped up and you're gonna have a lot of people tuned in because you were the first one talking about it. And I'm not gonna lie, this time I actually did think about seizing the moment and putting something up there to attract the viewers to my channel. But I'm not an impulsive type of person. I sit back and I analyze situations before I make my decisions. For one, I'm not gonna go live and just regurgitate the same information when we have limited information about the topic. The only thing I could do is share the same information everybody else is sharing, and that's not my style. And at that point, I don't have a unique take on the situation. How am I gonna have an opinion on something the second that the information hits my ears? That would be more like an initial reaction. That's not really my opinion about something. Because to really have an opinion about something, you gotta think about it. Because I'm a believer that you gotta digest information before you can really make an opinion about something. And how am I supposed to share anything with the public if I didn't have a chance to fact check anything? And I'm gonna call y'all out for this. Bloggers, YouTubers, I know exactly what y'all are doing. There's no way y'all had a chance to fact check anything when it came to the Yella Beezy situation. And this is what I see happening. Y'all see Say Cheese post this shit. Shout out to Sean Cotton though. Y'all see World Star post this shit. It might hit TMZ, it might hit the Shade Room. And what y'all do with no research at all, y'all go ahead and even take the same picture with their fucking logo on it. Y'all would take the same exact picture and try to make content and make a post on your page like you were the one to break the news. And I do fuck with journalists. Don't get me wrong. I do fuck with independent journalism, but that's not how you do it. Y'all aren't really bringing any value to the game at all because y'all might as well go on X and just hit the repost button. Instead, y'all want to try to capitalize and take someone else's content and share it as your own like you're breaking the story. And again, I can't respect that shit. That's some clout chasing shit. And listen, that's just not my lane. I let those guys like 1090 Jake go ahead and request those type of documents so they can pull up the actual facts for you and break it down because that's their lane. I'm not going to get into all that politicking and acting like I know something that I don't know. I'm not going to get on here and share the same opinion that y'all shared. And I really can't stand when them YouTubers get on there and act like they would have did something different. Bro, unless you're in a situation, unless you're in that exact same situation, you can't talk about what you would have did, should have did, could have did. Everybody want to get on and say they would have handled the situation completely differently when they're on the couch at home. And the spectators always got more shit to say than the players. That's just how it goes. And this is one of the opinions that I know is probably unique to me, but most rappers are haters. If they not hating, they probably not real rappers. They just make music. Like me, I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist that makes rap music. I love rap, but I hate rappers. And like I said in the other episode, they get too caught up in trying to upkeep this image. And it's one of those only genres with all these stigmas and like this invisible imaginary competition with each other. And bro, I even know people that wanted to rap, right? And they tried it and they tried to rap for a little bit and they was like, nah, that shit was taking me out of character. I was doing this and doing that. Like, bro, just make fucking music. You trying to live up to the expectations of everybody else, like what you think the fans want. But bro, just make some fucking music. When the idea of wanting to be a rapper changes your personality, it changes your whole stigma, like you lost yourself. And I do get it because like the history of hip hop, like one of my favorite artists is Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg was a whole fucking pimp. But what they don't really advertise is Snoop Dogg got a good woman. He got a wife at home. But the rap stereotype, you're supposed to have all these women and all these hoes, and you got Joe Schmo trying to rap from the Avenue, and he out here treating his wife bad because now he want to be a rapper. He can't cherish a good woman at home because he's trying to be a rapper. Bro, you can't listen to hip hop. You can't please these people. They be advertising going federal and being in jail and shit, bro. Why the fuck would I want to do that? Y'all got me fucked up thinking I'm supposed to be in jail to be a real fucking rapper. Listen, I'm not King Von, bro. I don't care to be. I don't aspire to be. That's not me. That's not my character. And it's the thing with rap, right? In sports, you got these metrics where it's like such and such got so many tackles. This is their passing yards. This is their QB percentage. This is their 3-point shot percentage. And you can measure and compare that accurately amongst players in the same league. But with rap, with hip hop, people used to be able to do that with album sales. And I guess it probably was still similar with the album sales. But now that we got into this streaming shit, the labels are looking for people that's popping already. I'm telling you, bro, like I said in the beginning, a lot of the shit on the internet is fake, bro. They're basically dumping a lot of fucking money into this shit, paying for promotions, paying to be on these different blog sites. None of this shit is organic, bro. Nobody's dropping a song and that shit just goes number one. It is impossible. There's just about 100,000 songs uploaded to Spotify every day, every single day, just to Spotify. There's roughly 500 hours of content updated to YouTube every minute. That's 3.7 million videos every day added to YouTube. You telling me that with no money behind your shit, dropping some random song from a random artist with 0 fans, that shit can just go viral on its own and go number one? Fucking cap. And this is why I'm not covering those murder cases and all of these hip hop beefs and picking sides and saying free this person and free this person, because I'm not going to idolize another man. I'm not going to idolize an entertainer. I don't care who's famous. I don't care who you know. I'm a grown-ass man with a fully developed brain. I can see the facade. I can see the smoke and mirrors. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to give my opinions. I'm not playing along, bro. Like I always say on this show, form your own opinion. Don't listen to me. You don't gotta listen to me and then have that be the end all be all. Go ahead, go do your own research. Get all the information in front of you before you make opinions. Don't just follow these headlines and news stories that are trying to sway you a certain type of way. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Thanks for listening. It's Mace Blanco. I Don't Need Clout, the podcast, episode 26. I'll see you next time. I'll see you on the other side.